Hello, my name is Angela Owens with Phenomenal Business Solutions, and I help businesses streamline their finances, increase their profits, and grow their business. So today I am going to be talking to you about your W-4 form. If you're an employee, every time when you first get a job, you have to complete a W-4 form, but you can always adjust those at any time throughout the year. So I just want to talk to you about the importance of that and some things that you can do to put your taxes in your control. So a W-4 is a form that you give your employer to tell them how much taxes to withhold out of your paycheck. Your employer uses it to calculate how much money to send to the IRS, and then you can update it at any time and not only when you first get your job. So this matters because if you withhold too much, the IRS will hold your money all year. If you don't hold enough, you can owe taxes at the end of the year. So the goal is to get your withholdings just right. The most ideal situation is to break even at the end of the year. So these are signs that it is time to adjust your W-2. If you get a raise or a new job or a second job, if you have a job on top of where you are working now, it's good to look at your W-4s to make sure that you're not taking too much out of your paycheck or too little. If you get married or divorced, you had a baby or a child moved out, you started a side hustle, or you owed or got a huge refund last year. In addition to that, if one of your children um, grew up, became an adult and they are no longer able to be filed on your taxes, you want to look at that as well because it's possible that they made too much money for you to be able to claim them on your taxes. So a refund feels good, right? But they're not always smart. So the average tax refund is over $3,000, and that's your money that the IRS is holding without any interest or anything. So wouldn't you rather have that $250 a month in your pocket throughout the year? Sometimes the answer is actually no, but let's just say that you want to have your money throughout the year. I'm going to go more into that. So if you get a side hustle, then it's possible that you're underpaying on your taxes. So sometimes people might do DoorDash or Uber Eats or Uber, and they don't think about the taxes because with those, you're going to get a 1099 at the end of the year, and you don't get to deduct anything. It's also possible that you may be doing other things like doing braiding hair, or doing cutting people's grass, different things that you are doing to make income. You're supposed to report that on your taxes, and that will affect how much you're going to owe. So it's good to update your W-4 so that the taxes can just be taken out of your paycheck, or you can set up a EFTPS so that you can pay directly for the taxes like that as well. But it's easier if you have a job, then your employer can just take that out and you can sort that out when it's time to do your taxes. So your employer does not know anything about what you have going on outside of the office unless you tell them. So it's your responsibility to update your W-4. And sometimes you may need to withhold more in order to avoid penalties. So this is how you fix it. Review your last year's tax return. Did you get a whole bunch of money back last year and most of it was refund from taxes you paid in? You might want to adjust that. Then look at the IRS withholder tax estimator. Let me show you how to get to that. So you'll go to the irs.gov website and go to pay, and then the tax withholder estimator right here. tax withholding estimate. So this only works for people with simple situations. So if you have a pretty simple situation, you can definitely use the withholder estimator. And if it's more complex, you can use the actual document to help you out with that. So then you want to submit this form to your job once you update it, and then they will update it they should update it by the next payroll, if not probably by the next month, but just double check how much is coming out so that you can know that they actually did update your information. And you can revisit it anytime your life or income changes. Some people like to claim certain things for the first half of the year and change it for the second half of the year, and that's just something that they do every year. That is optional as well. It's just another way to take control over how much you are taking home throughout the year and how much you're going to take at the end of the year. So there's a number of ways to do this, but it's all up to you how you want to do that. And this is the actual W-4 form that you will fill out. So that should look familiar. Also, there's a worksheet on the actual form. If you like to do things by hand, you could actually use the worksheet when you have multiple jobs. Or if you are married, that will be where you would include your spouse's income so that you can make sure that the right deductions are coming out. And these are all the tax rates and everything like that too. So just make sure that you pay attention to what you're doing. And if you need help with completing your W-4 and understanding how it impacts you and your tax situation, I would love to sit down with you and help you go over that. You can book your free tax preparation consultation with me at pbsllc.pro/calendar page. You can also download my tax organizer if you haven't done so already. It's pbsllc.pro/tax organizer. So I look forward to meeting you soon. Definitely book your appointment and get your tax organizer. That's going to help you a lot as well, even with working on your W-4, especially if you have a side gig, because you'll be able to calculate all of your expenses there and see what impact it's going to have on you. So you have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday, and I hope to see you again next week. Bye.